I'd say what's most important is that interconnectedness between the newcomers and the First Nations people of Canada. I mean, that's an important part of it. What it does, it sets the stage for being able to open up and hearing the true history of Indigenous people, the untold stories. You know, we all know about current events and what's happening with Indigenous communities, but there's also that stereotyping, and to dismiss that is to hear the truth. Who were the people prior to any contact? And then as we move along, to understand what happened after contact. What are some of those things that started to dismantle some of our cultural ways of knowing, being, and doing? You know, whether it's in family structures, whether it's in community settings, you know, those roles and responsibility our people had. And it's an important part that newcomers really don't know about us. And that's why we refer to as the untold stories. You know, people often think about Canada, but that's, you know, Canada's what, 153, 154 years old now? So that's what they hear, that's what they see. But prior to that, there's no known information for them to get from it. Yeah, it's a very small part. When we talk about our stories, and we talk about our creation story, we talk about where we come from. I mean, we've been here since time immemorial, and we start watching that and say, well, how far back do we go? Well, there's historical facts of, you know, a skeleton remains that was found in Montana of a young Blackfoot boy that's been carbon dated. I think the last, if I'm not mistaken, was carbon dated like 17,000 years. So we've been around for a while, and there's a lot of stories from 17,000 years until today that have not been told. You know, that has, and our people are quite reserved at times for fear of. I mean, that's what happened after contact. But I think for the newcomers to say this is what needs to happen, hear us, as well as the fact that we need to know who they are. You know, and looking at how we do things in a cultural way and saying that, you know, who are you and where do you come from? Was a question that I gave today, and it was beautiful to hear the stories. And where I think one of the participants, newcomers, said, you know, it was so nice to be able to talk about my culture, to share it. And that's what we're looking at, is that interconnected relationship building. I guess if I was to stand in front of a room full of newcomers, I would definitely open up my arms and say, welcome to the ancestral lands of the First Nations people of Canada. It's open to you as we share the land and we share the resources, as much as we share the sun, the air, the water, the foods. It's all encompassing because, first off, we're all human beings. And in our cultures, we don't neglect or shun any human being. And this is what I would tell them.